Hello. Hey, hi everyone. Hope you all are doing great. So I'm Ashfaq Sheikh. I'm currently working as a data analyst in one of the firm. It's a Indian software where I'm actually working for the Uber as a Uber is our client. So I'm working as a data analyst. So basically, as a data analyst, what we have to do is we have to work on the two tools like Python and SQL. Mostly we use only these two tools. So whenever you are going to prepare for the interview, you have to make sure that you have good hands on the Python. Okay, so make sure that you know the Python and the SQL. So basically, in data analysis, if we talk about the data science, what happens is in a data science we have multiple domains or the subpart. Let's say data science. So in a data science, what happens? We have first data analyst. Okay, then we have data engineers who gathers the data. Actually, they arrange the data. And then we have third data scientist. Data scientist. So these are the three domains under the data science. So what data analysts do and what the tools required to do the analysis? Basically, two main tools. This is Python and SQL. For the data engineer, you need Python. Python, you have to know about the big data. Python, then we have big data here. Then Hadoop, and again SQL also. Then as a data scientist, you need to know everything. Like one of the programming language, either Python or R, SQL, and then the machine learning algorithms. Okay, so these are the things under data science. So how to prepare for the interview? So first, to prepare for the interview, you must know like how to prepare, means what are the things that are covered in the under the interview. So there is a standard process for the interview. Almost each and every firm or every company you will be going for, they will follow the same procedure as if you are a fresher. Let's say you are a fresher. So what will happen? There will be first round. Okay, interview process. So what happens here? You will have the first round. Basically, it will be a coding test. So in the coding test, it can be conducted. Coding test. Okay. So it will be conducted on either HackerRank or the Hacker, or there you might find some other website also. So this is the first step. If you clear this step, if you clear the coding test, then only you will go to the second step, the second round of interview. It will be actually a video call interview. It will be on a video call. Second round. So what will happen in the second round? They might ask you to write some code. They will test your theories. Like you must know the basic at least. What are the algorithms? What are the tools we use? And what are the functions inside that? So here you will find it can be a coding round. It can be a coding round. It can be logical. So logical means what will happen here? They might give you some scenario and ask you how you will face the scenario, how will you solve the issue. So you have to think what can be the proper solution. So there can be a scenario. Okay. Then again, there will be third round. Basically, what happened in the third round? It will be like mostly coding with the senior manager or somewhere or the senior position. Plus, they will test your basics, the technical knowledge. technical knowledge here. So technical knowledge means if you are going for the data scientist post, what will happen? They might ask you for some machine learning algorithm. The first question will be most probably will be like, what is your favorite algorithm? So if you say any algorithm, then they will grind you on that. They will ask you multiple questions on that particular algorithm. So you have to make sure there is at least one algorithm that you know from top to bottom. So that is a thing you have to do. You have to make sure that, yeah, if I say that, yeah, I know the decision tree, then you must know each and everything, like what is the minimum leaf size, what. Okay, so you must know that, yeah, if he ask you like why did you selected this number of minimum leaf size, so you have to know that how to answer that. Okay, so once you clear this round also, then there's a last round. It most probably will be a technical round, managerial round, where you will discuss about the salary and all. They will test your the concept, like if you are good to work or not, how you think, how you behave, all those things will happen here in the managerial round. Okay, so these things happen. So let me guide you through how my interview was gone. So first of all, there was a one coding test. They gave me the one link. It was from the hacker rank, so I had to go through it. So after solving that test, they evaluate on the marks, whatever the marks you get. On that basic, they interview the top candidates, a few top candidates, whatever they want. Okay, so after that, I had the second round, which basically was a coding round. So they asked me to write a code. So if you don't know how the questions from the coding came, let me give you an idea. So they asked me, okay, so they gave me one array. So I hope you know what is an array. Array is nothing but a list. They gave me an array. It was like something 16, let's say 25. Okay, and the interviewer asked me, I need square from here. What are the number which is square and the square root of that particular number? Okay, so basically I had to find the square root and the square. So whatever number is square. So let's say if I say 4, 4 is the square of 2. So I had to take 4 from here and return 4 and 2, because 4 is the square of 2. Likewise. So what are these numbers? I have 4 here, and again 4, and again 16, sorry, here, and the 25. So these are the numbers I want as an output. And what is the square root of those numbers? So for the 4 I have 2, for the 4 I have 2, for 16 I have 4, and for 25 I have 5. So this is the expected output he wants. So expected output was, he wanted 4, 4, 16 and 25. Okay, so this was the one question. Then again, I had multiple questions on the second round. They asked me on some, they gave me some scenario, like let's say if we are working for the Uber, and let's say you want to increase the revenue on based on only the trips. Trips means nothing but let's say if we talk about the Uber drive. So let's say if you are focused on the driver, you want to improve the revenue. How will you improve? So such scenario they might give. So if you are talking about particularly about Uber, then this scenario might work. Or if you are giving an interview for some other firm, then they might ask based on their some use case. Okay, so that's what that happened. And again, in the second round also, he again asked me one question, one coding question. It was almost the same, but there were some changes. Okay, so what I mean to say is that if you are preparing for the interview, the one thing you have to make sure that you are good at least Python and SQL. You will find questions from here. If you are lucky, then you might not get the coding questions, but they will definitely ask you about the basic question. Like, let's say they might ask you like, is list is immutable or the mutable? They might ask you what is tuple, such scenario. So you should know that, yeah, if you are talking about the list is a mutable, and tuple is immutable. So this scenario you must know. If he says that like, uh, tell me what you can do with the list. If you have list data type, what are the actions you can perform on that? So you must know like what are the actions there. So if you're talking about the list, what are the actions we can take? So what are the actions here that we can take? So you must know like, we can do append here, extend, delete, pop, and many more. So once you say these are the actions we can take on the list, then he might ask you what is the difference between append and extend, what is the pop, or what delete will do. So the interview will go on like whatever you say, he will just cross question on that. So you must know that. Then uh, going is talking about the SQL. In the SQL, what happens? You must know there are a few things that you should know in the SQL. First thing is window function. First thing is window function, and then once you have the idea about the window functions, then you must know like what are the joins here, how they behave, how the union is performed, what is the difference between union and the join. What happens if we have, let's say, what happens and what happens if we have duplicates here. So if I join two tables where I have the duplicates, what will happen on the output? So you should know that. So these are the things you must prepare when going to the interview. You have to make sure that you know at least basic programming. When talking about the Python, you must know like basic programming. And the SQL, you should know basic queries like select, distinct, group by, and of course you have to know about the window functions, because this is the advanced analytical functions. So if you are going for the data analyst, you must know this. Basically, my second round was focused on the analytical skills and the SQL skills. In the SQL, they asked me about the what are the window functions, how they are different from other functions, how we can perform the window actions, and all those things. So you have to read it about it. Okay, and then there was a third round. It was basically manager. It was a lead manager, project manager. So he also asked me the coding questions only. He asked me few questions from the Python and few questions from the SQL. So from the Python, he said that tell me how you can import the CSV in the Python. So tell me how you can import the CSV file in the Python. Okay. Okay. So tell me. Okay, just give me a second. So basically with the pandas, we can do that. There are multiple ways. We can read the file with NumPy and pandas also. So it is nothing but we have the function from the pandas like dd dot read CSV. So once you do that, this is this way you can read any CSV file in the pandas. So once I say this, they might ask you how the indexing works in the pandas and all those things. So it depends what kind of interview you are giving. So if you are going for the analyst, these are the things you have to make sure. Even if you go for the data scientist, you have to make sure these things. Plus, if you are appearing for the data scientist interview, you will find machine learning problems. Most probably, what will happen? They will theoretically check your technical, whatever the technical thinking is. Theoretically, they will ask some questions like, tell me about the clustering. What is clustering? What is the regression? What is the time series? Okay, so this is what happens. So the things which you have to make sure is Python. You have to be good with the Python. Python skills first. Then, if you are going for the analyst, at least you must know SQL. Most probably, window function inside the SQL. So here you must know how to write a code. So if you know how to write a code, then only you will proceed further. So in almost each and every interview, what will happen? The interview will start from the coding test only. If you are good at the coding, then the theory, even if you are not that good with the theory or the basic skills, that doesn't matter. If you are good with the coding skills, then most probably you will move to the next round. So you have to make sure that you are good with the Python. That's the basic tool and the most important tool you have to master. So make sure you know much more about the Python and the SQL. So again, you may ask like where we can prepare Python and all those things. So you can find few videos or the video series from 360 also. There's on the YouTube, they have some Python list, and there are videos for the Python. So they have the playlist there. You can watch from there, but you cannot say that each and everything will be covered there. So you have to move to the other places also. So once you watch the series, you will understand like how the things works, how all these things are working. So once you are familiar with the concept like what is list, what is tuple, what is said, and what is the dictionary, then only you can move ahead and try to solve some problems. So if you are on the stage, what will happen? You have to visit. There are a few websites which are free of cost actually, and they have question and answer based on the sub scenario, or let's say which are the questions which have been asked in some companies. So we have hacker rank. This is a way you will find basic questions there. So it is a very good website to start. So if you are beginner, if you are intermediate, you should visit here. Once you complete here, then we have the hacker rank, hacker earth. The level of the questions will be higher here in the hacker earth. So you have to follow the sequence. First, you will go to the hacker rank, solve each and every question there. Once it is done, you can move to the hacker earth. Okay, on the hacker rank, what will happen? Here you will find both the questions from the SQL and the Python also. If you want to learn from the machine learning, you can find the machine learning question also here. Okay, so on the hacker rank, you can find SQL questions here, Python questions here, ML questions also you can find here. Okay, once that is done, then you can move to the hacker earth. On the hacker earth, you will find some advanced questions. Those are quite difficult, but if you master that, that means you can crack any interview, like any test. Okay, so on the hacker earth, you will find Python questions here. Advanced Python questions here. So make sure that you are daily visiting this two website. So you have to make a routine that each and every day you at least solve one Python problem. You visit either website and solve at least one Python problem each day. Don't focus on solving too much. If you follow this, let's say if you are following this for the 30 days, like for the 1 month, by the end of the month, you will have idea about the 30 use cases, like 30 different scenario, how the things are happening, how you can approach to particular problem. So what is mean by solving the problems? That means what we are doing is we are increasing our analytical thinking, like how we can approach to a particular problem. So by solving that, you will improve your skills. You will improve the approach, how you can approach. You will have that thinking, like, yeah, if we are saying that, so I know how to approach to the particular problem. Or you can find, yeah, I have done, I have solved some similar problem before also. So that way your confidence will increase. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are at least doing this. You have to do this if you really want to get placed. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. As I remember, there's a one problem you might get it in the interview. Most of the time, I have given multiple interviews. In the most of the interviews, I have found that problem. So it was basically a Python problem. So what it says that, let's say you have given a list or the array. So we have an array here. This here are few numbers. So what happens is, the interviewer will ask you, he will ask you, give me the count of each number here. So this is a basic problem, but important. You might see it once you go to the interview. So try to solve it, not now, but once this session is done, try to solve it. And make sure that your code, whatever the code you are writing, is efficient. Make sure that you are not iterating through this list for the n times. That is, the n means the number of items inside the array. Make sure that you are iterating only once and you are getting the count. So I can give you the hint, like you can use the dictionary here. If you use the dictionary, then it becomes very easy. You just have to go through this array once only. Even if you go the single only one time here through the array, you will have the count for each number, like how many times the 2 is repeated here, how many times 23 and 3, 5, 6, how many times they are there. You just have to go once only and you will have each and everything. Okay, so this is all about the interview basically. But the most important thing is that we must know, like, how we can get the interview, how to apply, where to apply. So these are the things. Okay, we must know. So what you have to do, there are multiple sites, but I will suggest you one only. I personally have followed that. This is a Naukri. Don't expect that if you are applying today, you will get the call tomorrow only. This doesn't happen. That happens very rarely. It takes some time. If you apply today, you might get the call from them like after 1 month or from the 1 week for 2 weeks. If you are very lucky or they are in a hurry, so you might get call on the very next day. But to get the call also, there will be some resume sorting will happen. They will sort resume based on the keywords. So make sure that your resume contains the keywords. What do you mean by the keywords? Is like I'm writing the skills, so I will write the Python. If I'm applying for the data scientist post, I know that these are the skills. So we have to mention like Python, pandas, NumPy, SQL, and machine learning. These are the few keywords that you have to mention, that these are, you have to make sure that these are the keywords that are on your resume at least. Okay. So what you will do, you might see that you are not getting call, like that happens. So what you have to do, each and every day you have to visit your Naukri profile and update it. It doesn't matter what you are updating. Go there. If you have written some bio, just remove a dot from there and update it. On the next day, go back, just put that dot again and update it. So you have to show the algorithm that yeah, you are active, you are daily coming here, and so you have to make sure you know how the algorithm works. So you are from the data science, right? You have learned algorithms, how they works. So most of the algorithms works on your activity, like how's your activity. So we have to show to the algorithm that yeah, we are active and actively seeking for the job opportunities. So you have to visit each and every day. Visit Naukri profile each and every day and make some updates. Then we have LinkedIn. Basically, I have seen that for LinkedIn, you have to build a network. If you have bigger network, that means there are the chances that you will get job earlier than others. So try to build network, try to connect with the people who are recruiting, try to connect with the senior people from the domain. So once you go there, you can explore. Connect with the hiring managers. They, what they do, each and every day, if they have the requirements, they post on the LinkedIn. So once you know the post, then you can apply. You can even, if they are in your connection, you can directly message them that yeah, I have these are this, you have this requirement for the skills and I have the skills, I want to apply. Then they will go through your resume. If they find that yeah, you are the fit for the that particular post, then they will interview you. So that's how it works. Okay, so the things you have to make sure you are good in the Python, and you are good with the basic concept of the machine learning, you are good with the SQL. Then there are multiple tools, and you each and every day you will go through the or your curriculum, you will explore them. So go back, watch those videos again, make sure you know the basic concept, make sure that there is a one algorithm at least, you know, talk to end about each and everything that that algorithm contains. So that, so these are the things that you have to do to crack the interview. So if you are good at these things, you can crack the interview. Okay. So I'm able to see the questions here. Okay. If you have questions, you can ask. I'm unable to see it. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. So write your questions. I'm waiting for the questions. Okay then. Yeah. Thank you everyone. I'm done.